what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. We're doing another head-to-head video. Today we're looking at the new Thrunite Ti4T, which is titanium, against the Nitecore MT06. Your price point is going to be around $40 for this and around $26 for the Nitecore. So both of these were sent to me from Thrunite. They felt pretty confident that the Ti4T would be effective in standing up against the MT06 from Nitecore. Let's unbox the Thrunite, unbox the Nitecore, and then we'll take it out into the dark and see how they perform. If you've seen other Thrunite videos, you've probably seen this kind of standard brown box that it comes with, or that the flashlights come in. So this one is the Ti4T, and it is in the cool white. From my research at the time of this video, the cool white is the only option for the for this Ti4T. So let's unbox it and just show you what's inside. There's your light. That's what that looks like. I always think whenever I see a light with this type of finish, you know, it's a gentleman's light is what I always say to myself. So here's your standard silica gel. There's your foam. As usual, you get a couple extra O-rings from Thrunite, and that's pretty much it. So no instructions with this one, but shouldn't be super hard to figure out. It does say here on the side, Thrunite Ti4T Penlight, right there down the side. So that's pretty much what you're getting with the Thrunite. Let's take a look at the Nitecore now. As you can see, the Nitecore box has a lot more information on it. So on this side, there's the kind of just multitask series, some general information on the back, and then some more on the side as well. So for some people, they just want to look at the box, open it up, and get rocking. Other people might want some instructions, whatever, but just so you know, that's what it says here. They also note that they have a 5-year warranty. One thing I will tell you is that I had a Nitecore light that just stopped working all of a sudden. I'm not like opposed to Nitecore. I think it was more of a lemon than anything. But I contacted them about sending it back and having it replaced. It was just going to cost me so much to send it overseas for like maybe a $35 light. So I was just like, no, I'll just skip on it. But they do say they have a 5-year warranty. It's just that you're going to have to send it overseas, and that's not usually super cheap. But depending on how much you spent on the light, it may or may not be worth it. So anyway, I just want to let you know about that. Let's open this up here. I'm going to take the light out. So there's the box, get rid of that. There's the actual light in this little plastic casing. So I'll take this out. That's what that looks like. It does have that silver or aluminum for the pocket clip, and also for your push button on the end. There's that. And then let's show you what comes with it. Here's the instructions that come with it. Here's information on the warranty as well, and then additionally 2 O-rings. Put these two side by side just so you can see how they compare. Almost the exact same size. The Thrunite is going to be just a little bit bigger compared to the Nitecore, but not a huge difference between the two. And then as far as, you know, looking at them from that from the bezel end, and then your push button end. The Ti4T's button does stick out a bit further, and it's thinner than the Nitecore, but very, very similar lights. That's why I thought these two would be good to compare to one another. And I got the Thrunite directly from Thrunite, and then I got the Nitecore over at Amazon, and I got it, I think it was some Edison Bright, I think was the company. And they did send me 2 batteries, 2 AA batteries, so I could be ready to rock and roll as soon as I got the light. So here's your 2 lights side by side. Let me talk through some of the details. For the Ti4T, it's got a Cree XP G2 LED with a lifespan of 20 plus years. It does run off 2 AA's, and for both the batteries, basically you're going to take off the bezel end, or you know, your lens end, and slide the batteries in positive side facing out, and then put that back on. You know, a lot of times you take off your end cap down here to put the batteries in, but not the case with these. Here's what you have. You have a Firefly, which is 0.3 lumens. That's going to run for 137 hours. A low, which is 24 lumens for 12 hours. A high for 252 lumens. That's 51 minutes. And you're going to cycle through Firefly, Firefly, low, high, and then Firefly, low, high, and then it'll go into strobe, and that's also 252 lumens. Your beam distance is going to be 67 meters. It is IPX8 rated, so it's going to be good for being waterproof, impact resistant to 2 meters. And the last thing I'll tell you is that the material, obviously because it's the T, is titanium. So that's the other main thing to know. Let's talk about the Nitecore now. The Nitecore is got two settings, a low, which is 32 lumens, and a high, which is 165 lumens. The low is going to run for 5 hours and 15 minutes, and the high for 45 minutes. Your beam distance, 92 meters. It's good for 1.5 meters as far as your impact resistance, and it's also IPX8 rated for water resistance. I picked up the two lights, and one of the first things I noticed about both lights is that the batteries do rattle a little bit inside the light. So even as I tap this one, you can hear it. Listen. So they move a little bit. I'll shake it and see if you can pick it up on camera. Yeah, you can probably hear that. It seems less so with the Thrunite, but you can still pick it up a little bit. Yeah. So this one's a little bit. The Nitecore is a little bit louder. It's not the end of the world. I've heard different people say different things, you know, as far as finding a way to secure them. It's a little bit of a pet peeve for me. Like I don't want a lot of noise coming out of my flashlight. So in my pocket, when I've had lights that you know, that do this, they generally don't make a ton of noise. But that's just something as a heads up. If you're one of those people who's like, I can't have any noise coming out of my EDC light or my Penlight, then probably neither of these are going to work for you, because they do have that little rattling noise. We're in a small section of my attic. I'm going to start with the Thrunite, and let me put it on the Firefly setting. So there's my hand. You really can't see anything out there. When I put it on the second setting, I will tell you that right now I can see the boxes in the shelf and everything that's about, you know, probably 8-10 feet in front of me. You can't see it on camera, however. There it is on the second setting. You can see those boxes with the labels. You can see the wreath hanging there, some of the kids' toys. There's our third setting. That is extremely bright. Back down to my Firefly, second, third, and there's my strobe setting. So looking at the same thing, let's do it with the Nitecore, which, as you heard earlier, only has two settings, but here it is on one setting, and then the second. There's your lower, and there's your high setting. Low, high. Let me put the Thrunite on at its highest setting. So there's high for the Nitecore, there's high for the Thrunite, again high for the Nitecore, and high for the Thrunite. I would say even at this close range, I feel like the Thrunite does have a little bit more flood, and you don't have that burning hot center. Definitely in this one, you can definitely see a hotter center, and in the Thrunite, I definitely don't see that. Definitely don't see that as much. One thing I've noticed about Thrunites, I'm trying to get the light out there a little bit, but see if I can point it out, at least with my finger here. But one thing I've noticed with the Thrunites is, yeah, you're not going to be able to pick it up on camera, but like right about here on the ring, you kind of see the two shadows from your, you know, from the lens or what it is exactly. But you've got not a burning center, but you get the center, and then you have it kind of, it dims out a little bit when it comes a little bit toward the edge, and then there's kind of two rings right about here. They're very, very mild. You can't see them very clearly at all, but I will note that some people might consider that an artifact. I just consider it as part of the, you know, when you're building a light, it's part of the construction. So, and yeah, this is an up-close look in the attic, and I would say right now, you know, if I was looking around, that goes over into a crawl space over there. If I was looking around with the Thrunite or with the Nitecore, I'd be quite comfortable. So, Thrunite's off. There's the Nitecore on a lower setting, and then on the higher setting. Both these would certainly function in this setting. I've turned the camera, and now we're looking from this smaller section of the attic through my little hallway and then out into kind of what is the studio for Everyday Tactical Vids. So let me do it first with the Thrunite again. I actually have the lowest setting on. You can see the door right here, the frame of the door a little bit, so that's your Firefly setting. There's your low setting. You can see all the way out, and that reflection kind of right there is some of the lamps. And there's your highest setting. So you can definitely see everything that's right in here, hanging on the wall, and all the way out to the lights out there. So about 25 feet away. There's your Firefly again, medium, high, and there's your strobe setting. Let's go to the Nitecore. So there's your low setting, and now you can definitely see that hotter center, and then there's kind of a more dim spot, and then you can see the rest of it. And then let's go to the highest setting. So definitely a hotter center, I would say, on the Nitecore as opposed to the Thrunite. So you can definitely you can tell the difference. I put this one on the highest setting. So there's your Thrunite, there's your Nitecore, Thrunite, and Nitecore looking at about 25 feet away. I'm outside now. I'm about 40 feet away from our minivan. Let me show you the different settings. You can see some lights off to the left there. That's just our downtown area of the town we live in. So here's the Thrunite once again, 40 feet from the minivan. The Firefly setting, nothing. There's your second setting. You can now see a little bit better. There's your third, Firefly, second, and your highest setting, and a strobe. Let me go to that highest setting again. So that's what that looks like, and let me zoom the camera out a little bit here. So, you know, if I was coming out of the house and I was like, hey, I want to make sure that there's no one outside by the car, if I'm leaving an office and going to my parking lot, I can definitely see quite clearly. I can actually see, with the way this is, it definitely has a hotter center than it looks like inside. But outside, I mean, I can see the entire driveway, which goes from down there all the way to back by the steps. There's a car passing by, just to give you a sense of where the road is. So that's the Thrunite. Let's compare it to the Nitecore here. There's your lower setting, and there's your higher setting. And you can see, I mean, that's definitely that's a hot center, and then definitely dims as it goes out further. A little bit, the rings that I was talking about before on the Thrunite, there's a tiny bit of that same sense of the ring when you look at the Nitecore. But just look at that down on the ground. There's that center for the Nitecore, and now let's put the Thrunite on the highest. And just not the same thing. I mean, you just don't get that same hot center. So there's that hot center, and then definitely dims as it goes out. Versus the Thrunite, definitely it's got a hot center, but not nearly as hot as the Nitecore. It kind of fades away pretty quickly with the Nitecore. Another car going by. They're probably like, what is that guy doing? But anyhow, the Nitecore is hot, and then it fades out pretty quickly, whereas the Thrunite, just feel like it's got overall better spill for the flashlight. You've seen these lights used in the house. You've seen them in use out in the yard, checking out the minivan. I've also EDC'd both these lights for a bit, and I will tell you that I like the Thrunite more than the Nitecore. I don't dislike the Nitecore, I just like the Thrunite more. That little extra bump in lumen output, that's an advantage for me. I like that you have 4 different options, including the Firefly on this, which you don't have on the Nitecore. I also like the titanium. Like I said, this is like my my gentleman's Penlight flashlight that I'd be carrying around. The main challenge for people when they think about it is they're going to have to say, you know, is the strobe, the extra lumens, an extra setting as well for the Thrunite, is that worth basically the $14 difference between the around $26 for this and around $40 for the Thrunite? For me, if I was going to spend the money, if I'm going to spend $26 on this, I would spend the extra $14 and get what you get out of the Thrunite. I also know that Thrunite's return policy and their warranty policy has been really good. So, you know, if you have issues, they'll deal with you quite effectively, quite efficiently, and get you a new light quickly. I know people have had lights replaced by them and have had no issues whatsoever. Again, I mentioned both the lights. They have that kind of rattling thing that goes on. It's not the end of the world, but I wish it didn't happen. But you know, just something to be aware of. They both work with AA's, so that to me is a plus when it comes to a Penlight. You know, I could swap that out quickly with batteries that are either A, just available around, or B, I can pick up at, you know, Walmart or Target, and C, they're also, if I had to, you know, pull batteries out of another item to put them in this, AA's or something that's readily available, as opposed to CR123s or 18650s, something like that. So the Thrunite wins the day. For me on this one. There have been other times when I found that, you know, the competitor, like the Phoenix, I think the Phoenix PD35, I think it was, I like that more than the TN12 from Thrunite. But so the Thrunite wins the day for me on this competition. Links down below for both these lights, and anything you might be interested in getting on Amazon. If you use the link below, that'll take you to your search option at Amazon. Using that link below from Everyday Tactical Vids, it'll help to support our channel here. So thanks as always for checking out our videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram and Tumblr as well. Take care.